Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Retro Gamers Podcast, episode number 247 for those of you keeping track. Larry here.
And Anthony here. I am not keeping track.
No, neither was I. I had to look it up.
And you were barely. So.
Yeah, almost. Well, last week I didn't even know the number. I just, literally, I'm like 240 something.
240 something? I think we should just say that moving forward. That way we're just perpetually stuck in the 240 somethings.
It works for me. That way we don't have to celebrate anything.
Exactly.
Makes it easy.
Speaking of, aren't we closing in on another episode?
Yep. Episode 250 on the horizon.
Yep.
We'll see what we do about that. But in the mean... What?
Quit.
Oh, quit at 249.
Right at 249 and a half.
Do a podcast. Quit before a major anniversary. Be a man.
We'll do promos for the 250, and then it just never happened.
It got scrapped.
Oh, yes, it probably would.
So, Anthony, welcome back. You were gone last week. You were on assignment, as I like to tell people.
I was on assignment in a whole other country.
No, that's good.
Yes, they let me leave.
Yes. No, they, actually, more importantly, they let you come back.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure about that part.
So, but welcome back. Hopefully you had a good time.
I did. I had a very good time. It was my first time visiting Toronto proper.
Okay.
So really cool. Great city. Kind of like a New York-ish, but cleaner.
I've heard that. I've actually heard a lot of people say that.
Smaller and cleaner.
Okay.
But it definitely gives you New York vibes, which is kind of cool.
Cool. I like that.
And while I was there, I did take an opportunity to frequent a couple of game stores. Which was cool.
Did you? Okay.
I did. Well, I had posted a photo.
Oh, no, that you did. Yeah, which is kind of odd to see that particular store.
Yeah, EB Games still exists outside of the United States. They basically just told us to F off. And then
basically,
they were like, you know what? Forget the States. Let's just go everywhere else.
And then they changed their logo. They put a maple leaf in their logo. So I'm like, all right, apparently you're all Canadian now.
Yeah. So it was kind of cool. It was kind of cool stepping into an EB Games because again, like, you know, it's like stepping into your childhood in a way. Where it's
a long time.
And I was like, that was the place, right? You went to Toys R Us or you went to Electronics Boutique before it was EB Games.
Yes.
Do you remember the one in the King's Plaza Mall?
I certainly do. I remember we went there a long time. Not me and you, but me and a couple other friends of mine. Yeah. And they had like a mascot or something outside of it.
Oh, deep.
Yeah, and then my friend went up and yanked on the guy's tail, and then they chased them out of the mall. I wasn't anywhere near it. I had nothing to do with it. And I remember the guy.
Wait, but what kind of mascot did they have?
I'm trying to remember. It was a game or something, but I just vaguely remember it was kind of like a wolf or something. But not even like Crash Bandicoot. But they just went up. They messed with him a couple of times, yanked on his tail. Then the guy made the biggest no you can as a mascot. Took his head off.
Oh,
took his head off, and then proceeded to chase him out of the King's Plaza Mall.
Nice. See, now that's something to get on video. You know what I mean? That's something.
That was a long time ago.
That was a very long time ago. But anyway, so yeah, it was kind of cool going into EB. Again, like going in, it was kind of the same. It's kind of the same setup like a GameStop has now.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But like, I'd have to say like at least half of it was merchandise, not games.
Really?
Yeah, at least half.
Interesting.
Yeah, and not all. I want to say it was not all video game related.
Really?
Unless I'm mistaken, I could have sworn like there was like a little section of board games.
Yeah, they have those. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little section of board games, but it's not. But they're not just board games based on video games because it's where I discovered that there is a Goonies board game.
Really? Uh-oh.
Yes. And I wanted to buy it, but I knew I didn't have room in my luggage. So, plus I got to do some research and see like if the game is worth it.
Oh, it's even worth it. I gotcha.
Yeah, I have to do research on board games because I buy too many and I need to make sure they're good. So,
fair enough.
But yeah, there's a Goonies board game, so I got very excited about that. But outside of that, it was just kind of cool to walk around to see the games and stuff. And there, of course, they don't do anything retro. Like can't buy retro.
No, they didn't have not a lot of old stuff in there.
No, it's all
interesting
stuff. Yeah, it's all
okay.
Current. So
I wonder if that's just like a Canadian thing.
Could be. Don't know. So did that, and then just so happens the neighborhood that I was staying in had a video game store also. Not surprisingly, next to a Tim Hortons, which I discovered are everywhere.
Oh, they're Dunkin' Donuts, yeah.
They are Dunkin' Donuts in Canada. And I did try one donut, and it was good. Um, but yeah, so went into this retro store, and this was interesting because like um, he had a lot of stuff. Like there was a
Okay.
lot of stuff in the store, and I was like so happy. I was like, oh my god, a retro store! I'm gonna buy a Canadian game, and then I'm like, well, Canadian games are American games, so it doesn't matter. But just to say, I bought a game in
Exactly.
Canada. I was like, but I couldn't find anything that I really wanted to buy.
Oh,
I was
interesting.
like, and then I'm going through a bunch of stuff, right? So I'm like going like because the guy, whatever store that it was that it was in,
Yeah.
it's not like he exactly kept it up very well.
Oh,
So like there was
okay.
just stuff everywhere.
Yeah. I've
Um,
seen those
yeah.
type. It almost
was-
looked like a thrift shop almost. Not a
no,
thrift
no, no.
shop.
I mean, it was more organized. Like there were, he had racks on the walls and everything like that. But then like the middle aisle were all like plastic bins. And
Oh,
stuff.
okay. Yeah. Okay.
So I'm like,
Okay.
no,
I
was
got
like,
you.
there was a store,
Mhm.
but it was just it was messy. So I'm going through stuff and I'm trying to find something because I'm like, ah, cool. I might as well buy a game.
Yeah, well, something. Yeah.
And I open up this bin, and right in the front of the bin, I'm like, no. I was like, really? I was like, it was a Super Smash Brothers Melee for GameCube.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, ooh, I was like, I've never owned this. I didn't own Melee.
Keep
when I had
forgetting you didn't have Melee. Yeah.
So I was like, ooh, I was like, let me pick it up. So like I picked it up and I opened it up. I go, and it's in perfect condition, instruction booklet and everything. So I'm like, ooh, I was like, all right. So I bring it to the counter, and I'm like, I want to buy this. And he's like, where did you get this? I was like, oh, I got it in the plastic bin over there. And he's like, oh, we don't have the games for those. Those are just the cases. So I'm like,
the game wasn't in the.
No, the game wasn't in it. It was I just assumed he had the game in the behind the counter.
Oh, that's weird.
No, because normally like they'll keep the games separate so people don't steal them, and then they put them in when you buy. So,
Okay.
you haven't been?
No, Game On doesn't do that.
Oh no, there are plenty of stores I go to where it's like they have to go into a drawer, they take the game out, and then they put it in because they don't want people just walking out with stuff.
Interesting.
So yeah, so I hand them the case. He's like, oh yeah, no. He's like, we just have somebody traded in the case. I don't have the game for it. I'm like,
what the hell?
All right. I was like, but the case was in like great condition. So
Yeah.
I'm like looking at it. I said, I go, maybe I buy the case, I get the game later, because sometimes you just buy the game.
True.
Although by the way, anybody who owns disc-based games, if you throw out the cases, I don't understand why.
All mine are gone.
Yeah, he said, well, you're right. I don't
Room needed to consolidate.
Yeah, not with video games. Sorry.
They're not loose. I got them in jewel cases. Tiny jewel cases.
Right, unacceptable. So I just asked the guy. I said, okay, fine. I go, are you selling the cases? He's like, yeah. He's like, we just sell the cases, whatever. He's like, so I'm like, all right, fine. I was like, how much would it be to buy the case? So then like literally like 5 minutes going into his computer and looking stuff up. I go,
it is Canada.
No, I get that, but I'm just sitting there. I go, you're going on eBay, aren't you? Like, I just wanted to ask him. I go, you're going on eBay. And then he just comes back to me. He's like, $20. I'm like,
$20.
I'm like, okay, bye.
Even Canadian, that's what? That's, I know our dollar to their dollar is better, but
20 is like $16.
Yeah, exactly. But still, wow.
So I did not buy it.
A Canadian shyster.
The one thing that he had that I was kind of interested in was he had a copy of Bionic Commando on NES in box.
Ooh, okay, that's interesting.
So that was interesting. So next time I go there, because there will be a next time, I'll hit that store up or other stores. I was trying to find places to go. It was just a bit tough because it was a holiday weekend.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, well, it was our holiday.
They have Labor Day too.
They celebrate Labor Day?
Yeah.
No, like I'm not even trying to be funny. I did not realize they celebrate Labor Day.
Yes, they celebrate Labor Day. And in terms of my friend who was there, and I said, "Oh, you guys celebrate Labor Day?" He's like, "Yeah, we work too." I was like, "Okay."
Did you see any milk in bags?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to make sure. Okay.
Yes.
Crazy Canadians.
Ask me if it makes sense.
All right, cool. Oh, and also the pictures you posted from the Hockey Hall of Fame, which in itself I'm sure is amazing, but they had like a little game section.
Yeah, I was really surprised because first off, I go to the Hockey Hall of Fame not expecting video game stuff. I'm there. I'm like, oh, it's Mecca, running around seeing the Wayne Gretzky, Mark Messier stuff, the Bobby Orr stuff. It was just absolutely, and then the Stanley Cup. Woo,
of course,
awesome. But then like just to see behind the glass, it's like the NHL history of video games. I was like, wow, that's really cool. Plus, there were like one or two things in there that I didn't know they had made. I think like the Gretzky game for the Wii.
Oh, with the stick, yeah.
Yeah, with the stick. I've never ever heard of that here.
I think it was released, but the Wii didn't get like at some point the Wii kind of fell off. But
Exactly.
a lot of games took care, like with those add-ons, and that you throw the Wii remote into. But yeah, no, there's a lot of cool games, a lot of old stuff in there.
Yeah.
What was that retro jersey? Well, not a retro jersey, but a retro.
Oh no, it was like one of the minor league teams for one of the leagues. Like,
oh, okay,
they were called the Comets, I think. But they had like an 8-bit jersey, so I just wanted to share that.
No, very cool. No, it was very cool.
But there was just a bunch of really cool. Yeah, there was just a bunch of cool like retro games in there, and I was like, ooh. And I want to say there was one. I think it was an NHL VCR board game, and I'm like, I gotta look for that.
Oh, I saw that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I want that.
All right. Well, look cool.
But no, it was really cool to see that in the Hockey Hall of Fame. So for anybody, any Canadians that listen to us, or if you're ever going to Toronto, visit the Hockey Hall of Fame just for the retro game display.
I'll be there for that.
Yeah. And there's a lot of cool hockey stuff, which I was really impressed with.
So what? That makes now 5 countries that you've shopped retro gaming for?
Yeah, 5.
Right. U.S., Canada, Japan.
Yeah.
Did you do something in China or no?
I didn't buy anything in Canada.
No, you didn't buy, but you visited.
No, China. No, I did not.
China. Okay.
No, Italy. I bought a game in Italy.
I was gonna say Italy next.
I bought Lo Hobbit.
Yes, that's right. And your Commodore 64 Mini.
And that's right. My Commodore 64 Mini, which is sitting up there,
still in box. Yes. All right, cool. Well, I'm glad you had a good time.
Preserve.
Very good. Apparently, so do I. So, all right, good stuff.
But yeah, all good stuff in Canada.
Excellent. So, all right. So we got some interesting stuff to talk about. Just kind of some information to bring to you. I did not go to Game On this week.
Oh no! What are we going to talk about?
I'm not sure. So
I was going to start putting like a subtitle to all of our shows. Like the Retro Gamers Podcast from Game On.
soon from Game On. Soon from Game On. No, not a little bit busy weekend, and of course, weekend being 20th anniversary, 9/11, kind of, a little bit more somber this weekend. So, but I plan on going next weekend. No, actually, wait, can I? Oh, I don't know if I can.
You can't miss 2 weeks in a row. They won't know what to do.
No, I know. Especially because I got to look to pick up something next week. We'll figure it out.
Yes, and speaking of, big thank you to Mario and Jack for covering for me last week. Really appreciate it, and thank you for goading Larry into spending more money.
It was old Jack's idea. He was like, hey, listen, I'm going to be out there. I want to visit Game On. I'm like, you're not going to take out any time from me because I'm more than happy to go.
Of course.
And he had a good time. We talked about it last week. He had a blast, which I'm happy to hear. We went to both Miller Place and Smithtown.
Oh, you hit both? Nice.
Yep, so we hit both.
I haven't seen both of them yet, have I?
You've been to both just separately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You're right.
Yes,
have you been to the main one?
Yes, I've been.
Yeah, you went to Miller Place, yeah. So, and he picked up a couple of things. I think we all picked up something. I went very Master System heavy last week. Picked up some good stuff. Ghostbusters I've been playing on the Master System.
Isn't it so much better?
It's like heads and shoulders above everything else. Mm-hmm. As far as that version of Ghostbusters, yeah.
Yeah, the NES game was just painful.
Oh, it's all you're exactly right. So, but beyond that, actually, really, this week I've been playing. Besides Ghostbusters, more on the new side, I've been playing the new WarioWare came out on the Switch. So very fun. It's fun. I've always loved the WarioWare series. Just those quick, literally 5-second mini games. What? What's the matter? Did you play as well?
He played, yeah. I think he's about the size of Wario.
Yeah, I guess he does have a little bit of a
he really does.
Wario look to him. You're not going to be happy till he gouges your eyes out.
No, I'm not.
Well, he's not going to be happy, at least.
No, something like that.
And also, actually, this just dawned on me what I've been playing, and it's a retro game. It's part of the Space Invaders Invincible collection. Remember, like last year, I bought a Space Invaders game from Amazon Japan, and turned out it wasn't in English, so I couldn't play it.
Yes, and then didn't you give it away?
We did. We gave it away. Jason, actually a good friend of ours, ended up winning it, and I signed it. Nice. I'm pretty sure he threw it out, and I don't blame him. But and then I ordered because I had the game on order from Strictly Limited overseas. But then the game came out digitally on the Switch. I don't know if it's available on Xbox and PlayStation. Mm-hmm. It's definitely on Switch though. But it might be a Switch exclusive. So so I canceled the physical copy because I actually saved money because now I'm paying in US dollars as opposed to euros.
Of course.
So the game has like 11 games in it, technically 12, but mostly all Space Invader games. Very fun. Side note, actually, the Xbox also has not this version of Space Invaders, but has like and they're like maybe $3 each, like different odd makeups of Space Invaders.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to explain, but like you can play the demos. But it's an interesting collection. Check it out. Just search Space Invaders on Xbox.
Okay.
But going back to the Switch, there's 2 classic arcade games that are in there. Cosmic something. I can't remember the one. But the one that I've been playing like religiously since I got the game is called Lunar Rescue. And I don't know if you remember Lunar Rescue.
It sounds very familiar.
So Lunar Rescue was one of these, I forgot what they call them. When they like it works off of a Space Invader board and they just swap out a couple of pieces inside, so it uses the same basic innards as Space Invaders.
Right.
And what you do is basically you start from the top of the screen, you launch your lunar lander, not to be confused with the game Lunar Lander.
Oh, and you have to land on platforms, right?
You land on platforms, and then once you land on a platform, you pick up like someone you're rescuing, then you go back up to get back into the spaceship. And that's basically it. You go down, go up, go down, go up.
But you have to avoid things, right?
When you're going down, you have to avoid, like asteroids and stuff like that. And then when you're going up, you have to avoid, I'll call them Space Invaders, but they're not. But it sounds just like Space Invaders. So you're shooting your way up. It is so addicting. Like, I've never played this game before. And the game came out maybe like in 79 or maybe 81.
November of 1979.
There we go.
I took a moment to look it up.
No, fair enough. And Yep. I love this game. And I've been playing it so much. And it's funny because like one of the parts, if you bring your lunar module to the spaceship, and if you don't center it correctly, like to land into the spaceship, you just see it like like A, and then your guy falls to the ground.
Oh yeah, no, I remember that. That's isn't that also in Lunar Lander?
No, I don't know if it's in Lunar Lander, but this is definitely Lunar Rescue. And like I said, Lunar Rescue would have worked off Space Invaders, motherboard and stuff. That's cool. So I've been playing that, and I'm falling in love with that one. So check it out if you can. Lunar Rescue.
Cool. Lunar Rescue.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't think I've ever been playing too much other stuff. I broke out the Retron 77 for a little bit, played some Atari.
Nice.
Towering Inferno I picked up, which is weird on the Atari.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. I want to say no retro gaming on my end at all, this week. Actually, even my gaming has been kind of limited this week. One, because I was traveling.
True, fair enough.
And then, of course, making up time for work was definitely
gotcha.
Ate up a lot of my time.
I can't imagine.
Outside of that, really, it's been I've been very limited. Have been playing. It's a current game, but on PlayStation 5, a friend of mine had downloaded, and it's free on PlayStation if you want it. Super Animal Royale.
Okay.
It's been a PC. It's been out on the PC, I think, for a year or so or something like that. But I think it finally came to console. But the whole idea is like, you are cute little furry animals, and it's a battle royale form. So there are 60 of you on the map, and the object is to murder everybody.
I like it. Yeah. I like it. Which animal do you usually pick?
I am the cat.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. So, you just go around and kill.
And I'm working, and it's like any other game where it's like you can, as you get more experience points and stuff like that, you can buy certain things.
Oh, okay.
And stuff. So I'm trying to save up. Or now in that one, it's a lab where they create like new versions of your animals. So like I'm trying to save up. I'm trying to build up the. I think it's like a black ninja cat or something.
Awesome.
So
I like it.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun, and it's multiplayer, so you can do squads of 4.
Okay.
So you can do a squad version where it's like you and your friends are trying to destroy everybody else. It's kind of cool.
Makes sense. I like it.
Yeah. So
right, cool.
So that's a fun new find.
I saw they're coming out with Hellraiser for Dead by Daylight.
He already dropped last week.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yes. Pinhead has destroyed me many times.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no, I played a handful of matches with Pinhead in it, and I have to say, very impressed. They did a really good job with the detail on him and everything. And then you can also buy an extra skin for him that is one of the other Cenobites from the movie.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's the same character, it just swaps the body.
Yeah, I'm sure. So it's not the big fat one, with the chattering teeth or whatever.
It's a chattering.
Oh, that's right. Those are two different guys. Okay,
yeah, it was the one with the chattering teeth. So
forgive me, I didn't have my Hellraiser history.
Yeah, you should bone up on that. But yeah, no, Pinhead looks really great and plays really well. I just wish one thing that bothers me about Dead by Daylight these days is they release killers and no new maps. And it's like, I would love to have a Hellraiser map.
That's weird.
I thought that would be fun.
Like, not even related to the movie? Then it wouldn't even make sense to have the character.
Well, that's what it is. It's like, so you have Pinhead like running around Haddonfield and Springwood, and I'm like, yeah, all right, he's taking over everybody else's turf. I was like, but what about his?
Yeah, exactly.
Give me hell. I want hell.
Well, then everyone would be there. So.
Yes. Well, we are.
Well, at least you're getting some use out of the PS5, so that's good.
Well, I'm definitely getting use out of my PS5. I did bring my Switch with me when I went to Canada, and I tried to make a little more headway in Thimbleweed Park, which is like the that mystery game that I downloaded like 2 or 3 years ago.
It's a game.
It's a game I play whenever I travel. It's like point and click, like Maniac Mansion.
That's what I was gonna say. I think it's actually kind of like an homage to Maniac Mansion.
It is, and it plays really, really well. And the characters are very X-Files like.
Okay.
Like, because you have like a skeptic and like a believer and all this stuff. So it's a cool game, but it's literally one I only pick up whenever I travel. So it's like months go by before I ever touch it, or in this case, like a year and a half.
See, I can't do that with those type of games. I just forget.
Oh no, well, I've completely forgotten. It takes me a little time to kind of remember. It's like, okay, where was I? What was I doing? Oh, got it. Okay, and then onward.
God help me if I pick up start a Bloodstained again. I have no idea where I am.
Oh really?
It's been a little while.
Well, I beat it, so I don't have to worry.
I know you did.
Yeah, and how about picking up Castlevania 2? I remember you starting that.
I have no problem not finishing that.
Yes, I know you do.
So,
but, anyway.
All right. Well, at least you're getting some use out of the PS5. And with that, I think a lot of people are soon going to be getting some use out of the PS5.
Absolutely, because there was a PlayStation showcase last week. And everybody's been kind of itching for some news on the PS5 because, let's face it, I go between them and the Xbox. I go, PlayStation's been quiet.
PS5... And obviously there's going to be a little bit on the new side, but again, we're all gamers, so something to mention, even though some games actually do harken back to retro. But yeah, the PS5, maybe has 1 or 2 exclusive PS5 games, like not even on the PS4. So
yeah, I think it's like Ratchet and Clank.
So one I know
is the one exclusive I can think of.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only one I know of. That's only on the PS5.
Mm-hmm.
But with the shortages of the PS5, granted, yes, you chalk that up to the chip shortage and everything like that. Like my dad is shopping like for a new radio for his car, and while we were there looking, again, they're mentioning the chip shortage and everything. Mm-hmm. So we're aware of that. Rumors, I'm hearing 2022, September 2022, things are going to get better. Possibly 2023, things will get better. Wow. Is what it is. Yeah. But in any event, PlayStation, though, finally came out and said, all right, now here's a reason to go fight each other in the streets to get a PS5, maybe for, way more than it's actually retail for. And some great lineups called up, but we have a few that we want to mention that are probably going to be some personal favorites.
Yeah. Here's a bunch of stuff that you can hope to play on your PS5 when you get it in 2023.
Honestly. Well, luckily, some of these games are coming out in 2023, so we got time.
That's a very good point. So do you want to start?
Yeah, and again, with a lot of these trailers, they're teasers, so we don't have a lot of information on them. But just knowing that they're coming, they're getting ready to come out, is going to be worth it. And I think what I want to mention first is this one, because to me, it kind of coincides with a couple of trailers that have dropped, movie trailers that have dropped recently. Spider-Man: No Way Home. And Venom, Here Comes the Carnage, or whatever it's being called.
Yes.
Spider-Man 2 has been announced for the PS5.
Oh, there was no question that was going to be made. I mean, with the success of Spider-Man. First off, the first Spider-Man game and then the Miles Morales extension.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was only a matter of time.
And you loved both those games.
Both of those games were absolutely amazing. And to be honest with you, it's like, since you've already got the whole New York City built and everything like that, I'm like, yeah, just develop a new game in the world and you're good to go. Yeah, both of those games, if you for anybody out there, if you've never played Spider-Man on PS4 or Spider-Man Miles Morales on PS4 or PS5, they're well worth your time. Well worth your time. I mean, it's like playing through a Marvel movie. They put so much care into the story and the character development that yeah, amazing work. Absolutely amazing.
Awesome. And in this trailer, we get actually both Miles Morales and Peter Parker Spider-Man facing off from against what's revealed at the end of the trailer, Venom.
Yes. And Venom will be voiced by Tony Todd, which
yes,
I'm very excited.
Candyman.
Candyman. Well, not the new Candyman.
But
no. But yeah, no, like that deep voice that he has is going to be like, will be perfect for it. So, but I don't think the voice we heard in there was just Venom. I want to say, based on the accent I heard, we may be getting Kraven the Hunter.
Oh, okay.
So I think there might have been, I think there might be, those are like the two big names that are going to wind up in it. That's my guess.
Anthony digging into his Marvel lore. I like it.
Well, you know, I read enough comic books. But anyway, Venom is going to be in it. Looking forward to seeing if Venom is going to be the villain or, you know, maybe villain and then halfway through he switches because he does that. So, yeah, really exciting news. Definitely. And that one will not be coming out until 2023. So,
yeah, that one we got a little while to go.
We gotta wait for that.
Another, which literally was just a trailer, just a teaser, no information on what the game's going to be like, how it's going to play, but it's from the same developer, Insomniac, who put out Spider-Man and is putting out Spider-Man 2.
Yep.
We're getting a standalone Wolverine game.
That I watched the teaser of that and I got so excited because I know the work that they've done with Spider-Man. So I'm like, ooh, I was like, because Wolverine, if there's any character I think from Marvel Comics that should get like a good standalone game, like that could be as epic as Spider-Man, Wolverine's the guy to go to.
I think so.
Yeah, so I'm really, and even just looking at, I mean, it wasn't gameplay footage, it was just a teaser trailer. I was like, but just looking at it, I'm like, they'll do it right. You know what I mean? Like I'm confident they'll do it right. So really excited about that.
Do you think maybe it's not from a comic fan, because from a comic book fan, it's never too late. But do you think maybe they missed their timing window now that, you know, Logan, that was 4 or 5 years ago at this point, maybe a little less? No. Did they miss the mark with the whole Wolverine craze?
They haven't missed the mark with the whole Wolverine craze because rumor has it Wolverine's coming to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So,
there we go then. All right, never mind.
So if anything, I don't think they would have gotten the license for Wolverine if Marvel isn't planning Wolverine in their cinematic universe. So I have a feeling that the game is going to coincide with Wolverine being maybe one of the next major players in Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Okay, and this game's not based on the MCU, but I can see what you're talking about. Where just character wise, you know.
Yeah, just character. I mean, the Spider-Man games weren't based on the MCU at all, but you know, it's just a nice compliment to it because that's how video games work.
No, totally. And Insomniac quote with their goal, quote, not only respect the DNA of what makes the character so popular, being Wolverine, but also look for opportunities to make it feel fresh and truly reflect the Insomniac spirit. So that should be really good. I mean, you got to believe that's going to be a pure hack and slash.
It's probably going to be a pure hack and slash, but knowing Insomniac, they'll put other elements in there. So.
And then the third Marvel game, which again, more some gameplay, kind of, sort of, but they showed some more clips from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, and the reason why they showed more for this one is because it actually is coming out next month.
October 28th.
Yeah, very special day.
Oh yeah, look at that.
And Guardians of the Galaxy looks just fun. You know, again, they took kind of the heart of the characters and everything like that, and this, you know, similar to what we've seen in the films, and just tried to infuse it into the video game. So looks like a fun game to me. Yeah, this trailer shows what was the dog's name? Cosmo,
the Russian dog.
Cosmo,
yes. So a lot of him is in it, and just that comedy, you know, element of the Guardians.
Yeah, because that's the whole thing. Marvel has found a way to balance the drama and comedy really, really well. So, and you're just seeing that in the games as well. So,
All right, cool. So those are the 3 games right up there, but there's a few others I want to talk about. First of all, the launching, and we don't. Oh no, actually, this will be a PS5 exclusive. They are I want to make sure I get this right because in the past we've talked about remake versus remastered, and we have a couple of those happening here.
Yeah.
But this is a remake of probably one of the best Star Wars games ever, and one of the few Star Wars games I truly loved. They're remaking Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic for the PS5.
Yes, and I've never played Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, it's one of the, it came out on Xbox, the original, I can't say Xbox One, but the original Xbox in 2003.
Wow, okay.
And it was, I don't know what they're going to tweak to it, even because it's going to be a remake.
Yep.
But the original game was very much, it had its action, but it also you had to make decisions as you go in one of those games. And for me, it was one of the early games where you come to a point that, you're presented a situation, and then based on your choice, the whole branching system, and then you end up either on the light side or the dark side.
Yeah, which is really which is a cool way to look, to play through a Star Wars game.
Oh, totally. And don't get me wrong, and the original Knights is backwards compatible on the Xbox One X.
Oh, wow.
So the original Xbox One is compatible. So you can play it. And I went back, I played a little bit of it because it's been forever. And this was before this was announced. Mm-hmm. But the trailer on this just looks amazing. And this game, I got to be honest with you, as much as you praise, and I believe you, the Spider-Man games and the Marvel games, just for fun, this game might very well actually push me to get a PS5.
Oh, well, there you go.
When it eventually comes out.
Yeah,
No release date.
I was actually talking to a friend of mine yesterday. I went to go hang out with them for a little bit. And first thing he said to me was, "Did you see the news?" And I'm like, "Which one?" He's like,
"Yeah." Yes, it was very newsworthy.
Yeah, he's like, "Did you see the news?" And I'm like, "What?" It's like, "Star Wars." I was like, "Oh, Knights of the Old Republic?" I was like, "Yes, I did." He's a huge Star Wars fan. So he's like very excited.
Awesome.
So of course, he currently has an Xbox and not a PlayStation. So I'm like, you're going to have to spend some money. You're going to have to spend some money. I wouldn't mind getting the original Xbox one, though, for my collection. So keep an eye out on Game On.
Oh, will do. I see it often. So, and like it was part of the Platinum series, so you'll be able to find it.
Yeah, it should
originally
be
back then.
Pick up, so.
So we go from remake to remastered.
Yes.
Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, and Lost Legacy will be remastered for the PS5 and the PC.
Yeah, and I thought that was interesting. The only question I had was that Uncharted 4 is not old. You know what I mean?
Which is why I think it's getting the remastered version, not a remake.
Yeah, exactly. Because I was like, okay, I go, so that was the one where I don't know how I felt about it. Where I was like, I don't know if we need a remaster of Uncharted 4 because there was a PS3 and a PS4 version, if I'm not mistaken. In fact, I believe I have the PS4 version.
Yeah, I don't know if it was on PS3, but it was on PS. Oh, look, don't get me wrong. What? Oh God, what the hell is that game? Shadows of the Colossus.
Yeah.
Was released on everything. Yeah. So, and this, look, you got the people out there who love the game so much, you want to get the new version. Yeah. And look, remember.
By the way, you were right. It was just PS4.
Okay. And, for those who never owned it, like I never owned A Thief's End or Lost Legacy, if you're going to get it, might as well get a better version of it on the PS5. And plus with remastered, even though remastered games for the most part aren't like a remake, they'll probably change stuff to it, like core elements, but you still have that original feel.
Yeah.
Like Knights of the Old Republic, they might change. Maybe they won't do the branching system, or at least not as in your face with the branching system.
Right.
But a remastered is, just putting kind of a new coat of paint on it, and really maybe slight tweaks here and there. So, which I think is not a problem for Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. But another game that's getting a remaster version is Alan Wake.
Yes, which I'm actually very excited about because it was a game I've always wanted to play.
There you go.
Never have.
That's coming out October 5th.
Yes. So I'm looking forward to that one for sure.
And you want to talk about laying coat after coat after coat of fresh paint on something. Let's talk about a game.
I know where you're going.
That is now hitting what? Its third generation? It's third generation.
This has to be a record.
It's got to be third. The game came out on PS3. Yeah. GTA 5 and GTA Online are coming to the PS5. Well, excuse me. GTA 5 upgrade is coming.
Record. The game has been okay. The game was originally released September 17th, 2013.
There you go. On the PS3.
Years. Yeah, on PS3 and
Xbox 360, right?
Xbox 360. Yeah. So this game is 8 years. It will be 8 years. Actually, it's 8 years old this week.
There you go.
The game
happy retro.
Happy retro anniversary, right? this game is gonna be the first game to ever become a retro game while we're still getting a new version of it.
Hey, look, it's still making money, so honestly, I don't blame Rockstar. Why bother going into a new game?
Yeah, and people keep playing it. I played it for a little while last year.
Mm-hmm.
I literally got into it where I was playing it daily. And then I just realized, it came to a realization at some point where I'm like, wait a minute, I go, this feels like a job to me now, where it's like, oh, I have to check in. Oh, I have to go to my arcade and get my money, and I got to go do these things. Like it just felt like it became a chore. So that's when I stopped.
Which is never good.
Right. That's when I stopped playing it, because I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be a slave to any of my games.
No. That's never a good thing.
But still, like you said, PS5 is getting a version, which is great. It was supposed to come out in November, been delayed. March of 2022, you will finally be able to get your hands. Oh, wait a minute. You will be able to get your hands on another version of Grand Theft Auto 5.
An upgraded version of GTA 5 also announced the standalone version of GTA Online will be available for all PS5 PlayStation Plus members for the first 3 months after launch. So
when they say that, though, the standalone, like, now, can you just get GTA Online and just?
I think so.
Which, to be honest with you, I prefer. I never played through the story of GTA 5. I didn't play the story mode at all.
I never got far into really any of the story modes, I think, in any of the GTAs.
GTA 3 I did. For a while, I
might have done GTA 3.
Yeah, for a while I was playing the story mode in GTA 3, and then I realized, I'm like, oh, wait, I don't have to do this. I can just drive around and kill people.
Well, that's the thing. And then you discover, you know what? I can just cause mayhem and havoc.
Yeah, how do I get 5 stars? That's what I think about.
And then, at least in my opinion, because there was a lot of other games announced, but Gran Turismo 7 will be coming out also in March of 2022, March 22nd of 2022.
Yes. So, and for anybody, again, I've never been the racing game guy.
And neither have I.
And not my thing, but I know that's huge news because, Gran Turismo is such a big deal.
And it was because Gran Turismo, the driving simulator, is so detailed as far as how you can customize these vehicles. I mean, it is ridiculous. Yeah. But the way the trailer plays, like, it starts off with like this, like, church music, or church organ, I should say. If you had no context, if you had no context whatsoever, knowing what it was, you would think it'd be like another Castlevania game. Mm-hmm. But no, it's Gran Turismo. But it looks gorgeous, coming out on both PS4 and PS5. But still, the series lives on the PlayStation, and of course, a handful of other games. Which you can check out.
One other big one to mention was they showed a new trailer of God of War Ragnarok, which I think is a big deal.
Yes, you know what? It's funny because I kind of fell off God of War with the last one, admittedly. But no, you're right. It is very big. God of War Ragnarok, not to be confused with Thor Ragnarok, will be coming out, even though Thor will be in this game.
I was going to say crossover.
I don't think there's a release date yet, but it just looks really interesting. I think you might be able to play as the son more, as Atreus, as opposed to Kratos.
Totally different.
Sorry. The way it looks, Loki's in the game. I mean, honestly, Marvel should sue God of War.
Yeah. How dare you? How dare you dive into Norse mythology? That's ours. I would love it.
Tom Hiddleston's like, well, how did I not get this gig?
I would love it if Atreus is like running around and the never-ending story theme just starts to play.
Or just in here, thwop, and they're like, wait a minute, what's Spider-Man doing here?
Hey.
But yeah, no, God of War Ragnarok, and trust me, God of War on PS4 looked gorgeous, looked amazing. Oh, so of course, on PS5 is going to look even better. Mm-hmm. So, but we'll get more information as we come along. Again, no release date mentioned. I got to imagine this is another 2023 game.
Give me a second and I'll find out for you. How about that?
Well, I mean, it says here, no release date.
Well, it says no release date, but they're lying.
From a day ago, 2 days ago?
2022. That's all they're telling.
Oh, okay.
See, I got something.
I don't believe it.
It's 2022. Why wouldn't you believe it?
But yeah, so a lot of cool games coming out for the PlayStation. Again, this is PlayStation finally stepping up to bat, swinging hard, and we'll see if they can knock it out of the park. I think they will with that lineup.
Yeah, I am fairly confident that. Yeah, to your point, we said it earlier. It's like if you weren't interested in getting a PlayStation 5, I go, they're now making a very compelling case for it. Because I'll be honest with you, since I've had mine now, I've had it for just about
a year, maybe?
Just about a year. Well, it was November last year, right? That it came out.
Something, yeah.
So it's been almost a year, and Miles Morales has really been the only PS5 game I've played, aside from a couple of like a handful of like an indie game here or there. But I haven't played like a real, I haven't picked up. Well, actually, I did. I'm sorry, I did purchase a couple of games this week, didn't I?
Did you?
Yes, I did actually for the PlayStation 5. I don't have them yet; they're on the way. But I picked up a copy of Demon Souls, which I have wanted for a while because I never played the original. And I also picked up Ratchet and Clank, so I'll be getting those soon.
Oh, so you'll get Ratchet and Clank, okay?
Because it just looks fun. I've never played a Ratchet and Clank game either, so this will be my first one.
Okay, good. Yeah, awesome lineups. Yep. Well, you're going to be pretty busy then this week because launching, actually, I think today, the day we release, which is odd for a Sunday, the Polymega is finally launching.
The Polymega launches September 12th, which was this past Sunday, or when we're recording actually today. But I'm very excited about that because I have been itching, obviously, to play all my CD-based games without having to hook up all my systems.
See, that's the thing, and we're definitely going to get, and you should be getting it this week because you had it on order, like you said, for so long.
I had it on order. I've had it on order for so long that I've had to change my address with them 3 times.
So hopefully you get it.
Yeah,
and only get one.
I'm going to get one in every location.
Well, if you do, I'll buy one off of you.
Yeah. So how did that canceling the pre-order go for you? You feeling?
You know what? I honestly can say this: very tiny, very tiny. And the only remorse I have is the fact that yes, the whole idea for this system was to have all 10, 12, 20, 30 if you count the Japanese versions and everything. Yep. All these systems only plugged into one input.
Yeah.
Because really, that would have solved majority of my problem. Though I would still be swapping through. But for the most part, that's it. Just one input, and I just swap the modules.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was going to say, the other thing was going to be, the other remorse is the fact that, I would have been able to play my TurboGrafx 16 games and my TurboGrafx CD game while I wait for, which we're going to talk about in a moment, Analog to finally put their Duo up for pre-order. But that's the only thing, otherwise, and this is no disrespect to the Polymega, just I had all these games, I wanted to play them, and Analog was releasing their NES, their Super NES, and their Genesis. So, that's really it. That's like, I'm not jealous.
No. I didn't say jealous. I just
no. I didn't accuse you. I didn't accuse you. So. That's it, yeah. But you're looking forward to it. You played it.
I'm really looking forward to it because I did play it like 2 years ago, and I was super excited when I did play it because I'm like, holy cow, I know this thing works amazing. But to your point, like, it solves a lot of issues so that you don't have to hook up a lot of stuff, because that was the reason why I bought the Retro Freak in Japan. I bought the Retro Freak because that takes care of all my cartridge-based games. I bought the Polymega to take care of my CD-based games. So I literally just have to have these 2 consoles hooked up for most of my retro gaming. Not all, but most. So
yeah. And also, the cool thing about it is, remember, and we're going to deep dive into all this when Anthony unboxes it and plays it and everything, because I really do want you to sit down, play it, install. Remember, you can install these games onto the system. And where it is, they're installing quick. So
yeah, you just copy them right to the hard drive. I think it has like a terabyte hard drive,
something like that.
And you can expand it too. So
and the other thing that kind of worried me, but this would have been so minute, but my luck, every one of my like ROMs and hacks would have been the case. Like, there was never a guarantee that the Polymega plays everything.
True.
So, and even Polymega admitted that.
Yeah.
Like, I think like 92% of the PlayStation library will play on it, and that's from them. With the analogs, they will, because they're as when Billy, as we call him now, Jake Jack, as I also call him, was on the show, and you would get that if you listened last week.
I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to yet. It was a busy week.
I wasn't talking to you. Wow, that was an admittance of guilt.
Well, no, I always like to make a point to listen to the episodes that I miss. I don't listen to the episodes we record because I don't want to hear me.
And you were there already.
I was already there. Been there, done that. But whenever I miss a week, I always make a point to listen to the show because I want to know what's said. And also I want to point out things so I can make fun of you. But and I didn't have an opportunity to do that this week, except for what I was told about you spending money.
Yes. And Jack, tell us
anyway
how the FPGA, works. It's basically it is the original systems. So like Analog basically will play everything. So that was the other reason why. But again, my remorse, there is very, very tiny, but not enough where I'm itching to go out and purchase it. But I'm looking forward to it.
I was going to say, I mean, you're going to have the option to purchase it if you want to. Anyway.
Oh yeah, down the road, yeah.
Exactly.
So we'll have more information on that. But while you're getting ready to get your Polymega this week, Analog finally came out. But this one seems a little more now solid. The Analog Pocket is delayed until December. Originally supposed to launch next month in October. It has now been pushed to December. We got everyone who has on pre-order. I have mine on pre-order.
Well, a 2-month delay isn't as bad as a 2-year delay. So.
Agreed. And from Analog, and I'll quote from Analog, Pocket pre-orders will be shipping at the latest in December. Unfortunately, due to new COVID restrictions with our assembly partners, their capacity to deliver within our agreed time frame have been affected. This has created a domino effect of delays beyond our control in what would otherwise be a seamless process.
Yes.
Which we've all agreed, yes, we understand COVID was a lot of the problems with these delays. And also the problem with the chip shortages. So, but which I don't have in front of me, Analog has also said that they will restock the Pocket after the holiday and the accessories. So again, this isn't like a one-off. You'll be able to purchase the Analog Pocket, and they're looking to ship these like immediately after the second round of ordering. So I have high hopes for this one. Okay. They've been I think you can still purchase if you want their Super Nintendo and their Genesis. So they're getting out there. It's just now that I had this on order and it's going to be coming in, now my focus is now switching to the Duo and all right, Analog, who never responds to anything on social media. And they say that, it's not just like they ignore us. They're like, no, we do not respond. That's such a cheap way out. But
for you guys.
When does the Duo go into effect? Is the Duo being held up because of chip shortages or because of the quote-unquote new COVID restrictions? So who knows? But bottom line, the Pocket's getting ready to come out. And remember, the Pocket's going to play all the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance games. With adapters, we'll play Lynx, Game Gear, TurboGrafx. Nice. So this thing is going to be an amazing, amazing deal. When it does go again up on pre-order, I didn't get it before, but I think I'm going to get it now, the TV adapter.
Okay.
So I can hook it up to the television. So we'll see. And I'm looking forward to this because I do love the Analog. Yes, again, they're the Ferrari of these systems. They're expensive. The Pocket is $200, but I think it's going to be well worth it.
All right. Well, I'll take your word for it until you get it.
Absolutely.
This is also coming from the person who bought the Google Stadia. So,
which I canceled my subscription.
Which you should have.
But... so you weren't here last week. So just to get your quick opinion on this. So, and to coincide with another system I've ordered that I guess not a lot of people are playing, the Atari VCS.
Yes.
The Atari VCS has 3 new apps for free to download. We talked about this briefly last week, but I want to get your opinion.
Okay.
Through the VCS, you can now play Google Stadia. You can play Amazon Luna. Or you can play Xbox Cloud Gaming.
Oh, interesting.
And these are 3 standalone apps from their respective companies on the Atari VCS.
Which is really cool, but it begs the question of, who's buying the Atari VCS that doesn't have an Xbox?
So, and again, we talked about this last week. My opinion now on the Atari VCS is the Atari VCS has a standalone PC mode as well. I feel, other than hardcore collectors, right? Which I'm like now I guess I'm bordering.
You're getting there.
Other than hardcore collectors, I think those who are looking for like an extension to their PC, like I'm not saying they use it as a PC, but as an extension to the PC, who like to mod stuff and create probably programs, they'll be looking at the Atari VCS. Or for those who have a Stadia, Luna, or Xbox, use this and put it into a separate room in the house to extend those gameplays.
Oh yeah, you could.
I think that's where it's going to come. It's got to drop in price. I think it's like $300 right now. I think if it even gets to 200,
it's too expensive right now.
I mean, 300 is good if you're going to play the games that come out on it.
Right.
But and also don't forget, it's got Netflix, it's got Apple TV, it's got a lot of that stuff. But I think now, if it drops in $100, I think you'll see more people buying it. But I think now it's just going to be just an extension to other systems.
Yeah. Well, the issue with it also is the fact, like I'll be honest with you, I can't name a single game on the Atari VCS that was announced where it's like, oh, I want to play that. You know what I mean?
Oh, agree. No, 100% agree.
And then all of the apps you have on your smart TV.
Apps aside, and that's why I don't know why no one ever. I would love to get a TV that is not smart. Like, I want a dumb TV that doesn't hook up to the internet.
Oh.
Because I have...
You're old-fashioned.
No. 1, 2, 3, 4 items that will hook up and do that. Mm-hmm. You know, and because if they took out all that stuff from the TVs wouldn't be so expensive. They'd be even cheaper than they are now.
Yeah, but even still, it's just that's where we're going. Nobody's gonna make a TV without them.
I'm not. No. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it would just be nice to have that as an option. I'm not saying all TVs do that.
Well, then just go buy a TV from like 10 years ago. But then it won't have your precious 4K.
No, it won't. So, but in any event, where was I going?
We'll get you a nice tube TV.
You derailed me. I would love
a tube TV. You were talking about the apps on the VCS.
Oh, yes. No, because that was going to lead me to something else. So the VCS, drop it by $100, and then we'll start seeing. And game wise, the retro feel of using the original controller with the Atari collections are awesome. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, there's really nothing standalone other than the Antstream arcade app.
Right.
Which I find very convenient on the VCS. Oh, actually, my first year free is coming up. And the games that are available on the Antstream arcade are amazing. I mean, they're all old school. Total old school.
Yeah.
So that, to me, right now is worth it.
Okay. I will take your word for it. I will pass.
With that, the other system I want to talk about is the Intellivision.
The
Amico.
Yes.
Which I don't even know now when it's being launched.
Nope. There was wasn't there like there was something out here, I think, over the weekend.
There was. Yes, there was. In Irvine, California. Yes. Did have kind of like a meet and greet, hands-on meet and greet. But due to certain situations that are not beyond my control, I've had to cancel my Amico pre-order. And I know
situations. What did you buy?
Well, it's you'll find out probably next week, or no, 2 weeks, because I kind of want that thing right now over the other one. I
want that thing also. That you bought it instead.
Due to certain situations, I did have to cancel my pre-order. I was able to get my deposit back. They refunded me my full deposit.
Good.
It took me like 3 days to debate over this. Because I don't know when it's coming out, and right now I just kind of had to beyond everything that's already planned, like with that last thing. Like I kind of had to step back, like, all right, let me just get everything under control first, and then I'll go back. The Amico is going to be it's available on GameStop. You know, I'll be able to get it. I just might be missing out on like that awesome wood grain finish, which I kind of liked. Mm-hmm. But for now, I had to back off on it. For no other reason than monetary, because I know there's a few people right now who will text me as soon as they listen to this episode and they hear me say this. But I will get it down the road, a little further down the road. Mm-hmm. But for now, the Amico will not be. Plus, also, I have no room for it. I have zero room for it. I have to redo my gaming system.
I was going to say, I see plenty of space for you to put it in. You just have to get rid of the things behind you.
I mean, there is no room on that shelf anymore.
No, I'm talking about
the TV.
I'm talking about what's behind you.
No, what are you kidding me? That's a whole back room I got to go through to fix because of all that stuff coming in.
To toss. Got it.
This is my investment. When I die, my godson will be able to sell all this and make a pretty penny.
Yeah, by the time you die, those things will be worthless.
I don't know. It might be sooner rather than later, so we'll see. But in any event, so that's my update on the Amico, and yeah, so.
Well, I'm very sorry to hear that you won't be getting the Amico. I'm very happy to hear you won't be getting the Amico because it might be the equivalent of a Google Stadia. We'll see.
Honestly, no, I'm going to tell you,
it's going to have it promising, but
brand new Earthworm Jim game.
Yeah, it's just a lot of unknowns, though, man.
I may have to disagree with you on that one. I don't know if they're unknowns as much as their philosophy. You know, they said they're not competing with anybody.
No. They said they're not competing with anybody. They're strictly going to be family based and all that. Like, totally get all of that. The question is, though, can you find a footprint in the market today? That's the problem. Like,
for family,
I don't know how the Atari VCS did in terms of sales, but like I haven't heard a peep out of it.
Well, the Atari VCS, I mean, the Intellivision, I mean, if you follow them, obviously, there's no, commercials aren't on TV, but if you follow them, they are constantly putting up posts. They're constantly reminding you of stuff. I'm getting emails every now and again from Intellivision. Atari didn't do that. Admittedly, Atari did not do that. They just they were on Indiegogo, and that was it.
Yep.
But Intellivision is constantly staying in they were at E3. They had a little presentation at E3, the digital one. So they're there. Their footprint is there. And I think it's going to be a selling point for family-friendly entertainment, for families who want that for their kids. And even Tommy, I keep forgetting his last name, Tomiko something, the guy in charge of Intellivision, even said, it's a system where you have it, you kind of forget you have it, but when you have friends over, you break it out. And then it's like a party game, which it kind of is. So I think there's something there. A little better than the Atari. Not as good as the big three. But it's going to have its own little niche, footprint, something. Yeah. Well, and the price point is great.
Time will tell.
So
that's all.
So it's going to be good. And I'm looking forward to, like I said, I'll get it down the road. But with that, that's basically where I'm at.
Well, that's a lot. I am basically, I will remain the skeptic like I always am.
You always are.
Well, maybe not the skeptic, but maybe more of a realist. Because everybody's trying to corner the game market as best that they can right now. And I just
not in television. They're not trying to corner anything.
Well, no, they're just trying to find a place in it. And I just think right now it's really hard. That's all. So we'll see what happens.
All right.
Ask Google. You know what I mean? Like Google is a perfect example.
Hey, Google.
No, you know what I mean?
Literally.
No, but like Google is a perfect example of like somebody who tried to get into the game market and it just didn't catch. You know what I mean? Even to me, Amazon Luna, you know what I mean? It hasn't really caught on the way everything else does.
Luna, I think, would have a better chance.
Well, Luna has a better chance because of Amazon.
No, correct. The problem with Google Stadia was their games, they weren't coming out timely. Like, they just got bloodstained. Google Stadia.
Well, but that's what I mean. It's like...
No, agreed. I agree with you. 100% agree with you.
So it all depends on what they're going to offer and if they're going to be able to appeal to that market. So, like, my perfect example, the television wants to appeal to the family market, right? That's what Nintendo does. So Intellivision is literally hoping that they can take a bite out of Nintendo.
No, they're not, though.
No. But if they want the families to come over to television, right? They kind of got to get them a little bit away from Nintendo because that's what Nintendo's entire plan has always been. They are geared towards family. They are. So Intellivision is going to have to go after the same people who buy Nintendo. So the question is going to be, can they win some of those Nintendo fans over to buy their system? That's the way it looks to me.
Okay, no, that's fine. I'm not trying to convince you otherwise. It's just
no, I know. I'm just trying to explain to you, like, they have to get into the marketplace. You have to not necessarily steal, but you have to appeal to people who are already playing something else.
No, agreed. That's why television is all exclusive. The games are only available on television. Mm-hmm. Plus, their price points, they are literally, I don't think any game is going to be more than $20.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. That's their appeal. Their appeal is
absolutely.
Like, we're not Nintendo. We're not going to charge you $60 for a new game, even though it's been out for 3 years.
No, agreed.
Which is always my case against Nintendo. Boo, I hate you.
Which is you're exactly right, because I can't wait to get the new Mario Party game that's basically 5 N64 boards. So
yeah, exactly. Like I saw the new Mario Party game and I'm like, ooh, I want that. I go, oh wait, it's basically a re-release. Or wait, it's still $60. It's it's that type of thing. No. So like, but that's what I'm saying. It's like their plan is to appeal to Nintendo fans with more with games that are more cost effective.
But also in today's day and age, you don't have the families with just one system. That's the other thing too. I mean, but not counting us who are rabid fans, even general just normal families who have kids who play video games will have multiple things. So again, you're right though. You never know what's going to happen until launch. I just think Intellivision is coming out of the gate a lot stronger than Atari was. And
we'll see. Like, because again, you're following them. As a person like me, specifically, who follow, we talk video games and everything like that, but at the same time, I'm not following Intellivision specifically, and I haven't heard a word. Like, when are they? That's the thing. It's like, when are they going to try and reach out to the mass market? That's the question. It's like they're only reaching out to people who are looking into them. It's like you got to draw people in. They're not drawing everybody.
Well, they draw, but to be fair, you don't really. I don't think you like. Do you like during E3? Like, how into E3 were you?
I did. Well, unfortunately, this year I didn't follow it very well.
Okay, fair enough. But because their presence at E3 was there. When I go on the websites, they're there. And also with nowadays, I don't think a lot of people are watching as much television, so you're not going to see a TV commercial. Maybe you might, but when I was looking, but again, when I looked at E3 recaps online, because that's what I do. It's like when I miss something, I read news, right? And I'm looking at E3 recaps. Nobody was spending time talking about the Intellivision. Well, and that's the problem. It's like, what do they have to do to make their presence felt? Because they're not making a strong enough presence felt yet. That's all. Fair enough. Two sides to a coin. I think we should call this the better half.
We should. But
Frank's going to hate that when he hears it.
I was going to say, that wouldn't be fair to you because my side's always the better side.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know about that one today.
We'll see how people agree or disagree with us.
Of course.
When they watch and listen. So I'm right, by the way.
Okay. At least I'm out there playing these games.
That's very true. You are buying everything.
I am. Well, almost now.
Almost.
So
the Amico has been sidelined.
For now, not forever.
I have the utmost confidence that you will purchase it.
Oh, in a heartbeat. Absolutely. Oh, what'd I just do?
I have no idea. I think what you were about to say was that about wraps it up for this.
I think so. Welcome to the final episode.
Right. So I told you we're not making it to 250.
Oh, all good stuff. Making the world go round. And where can they find us and comment?
You guys can find us on Facebook.com/RetroGamersPodcast. You can find us on Instagram at RetroGamersPodcast, on Twitter at RetroGamersPod. You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts, or you can watch us on YouTube and IGTV. And our email is email@theretrogamerspodcast.com.
No. Email at theretrogamers.com.
Oh, I'm sorry. What am I saying?
See, what is going on here?
I've been saying this for, you know what? We're falling apart. That's it. 250 is the end? No, 249.
That's it. We got to get to 249, and we will.
We got to get to 249, and then we're going to count down to nothing.
And then we'll give it over to Mario and Jack.
The new Retro Gamers podcast.
It's like the new Voltron.
Exactly. Right, exactly. So they'll come on for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then we'll have to come back to say.
And then we battle each other.
Yeah, exactly.
For space domination.
It'll be like Pokemon Stadium.
Oh, I'm snorting.
All
right. And with that, let's wrap it up. Ant, glad that you're back. I actually might be a maybe for next week. So.
Well, you might have to tell me that soon.
I'm pretty sure I did. And with that, we'll catch you everywhere next week on the Retro Gamers Podcast.